trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Hey there, folks. A good afternoon to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Casey Cantz. Happening now, a busy morning for the New Bedford Fire Department, working to extinguish a third alarm fire on Acushnet Avenue. Take a look. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, but 24 people are now displaced. The call came in just after 10 o'clock this morning. Fire officials say the fire started in the attic. There's no word on a cause yet as officials continue to investigate. A story that is new today at noon, introducing Providence's next bishop as Bishop Thomas Tobin faces mandatory retirement next year. Today, he introduced the man set to take the reins of the Catholic Church in Rhode Island. And we go out to ABC6 News reporter Natalie Nuri. She's live at the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul, where Bishop Richard Henning is about to celebrate his first Mass in the Ocean State. Natalie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. The Diocese of Providence announcing the new bishop next in line today. That's Richard Henning. And Mass is just about to get started here at the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul. The service being led by Bishop Henning, who says he's so grateful for this next step, calling it a gift. For now, Richard Henning will work with the current bishop, Thomas Tobin, who has held that position here since May of 2005. Bishop Tobin, soon turning 75, the required age of retirement in the Catholic Church, will work with the next in line over the next few months, preparing to pass the torch to Bishop Henning.
This diocese does really amazing things for the poor, for Catholic education, for the accompaniment of people in difficult moments in their lives. So that's exciting to know that I could be a part of that and help that in some way.
Bishop Tobin added he hasn't had much time to reflect on his 18 years here, but he says he's proud of the work he's done and he's relieved to see the direction the diocese is going with in Bishop Henning. And Bishop Henning will start working with Bishop Tobin in January, who's guessing that he should be fully retired by next spring. For now, reporting live in Providence, Natalie Nuri, ABC6 News.
All right, Natalie, thank you. Let's now turn to the weather as we count down to Thanksgiving and a live look outside today where the sun is shining, Kelly Bates. It looks good out there. It doesn't feel too bad either. Very typical November temperatures, I think you would say, but It looks great.
Yeah, it's a perfectly average day. Your average high for today is 51. Guess what? We've got that. We'll likely see temps come up a degree or two, too, as we go into the afternoon. It does, we've got this little bit of a wind. Because our temps higher than 50, we're not registering a wind chill. It's just a really pleasant late November afternoon in progress. And with high pressure in charge, it sort of ensures that we get to keep it as we finish out the daylight hours today. Not only that, but it's going to be here tonight as well. So if you're going to be traveling anywhere later on, really, I think the only obstacle you may encounter weather-wise would be solar glare when you hit during sunset time. But otherwise, we're looking at clear conditions throughout the day on Thanksgiving as well. But if you're going to be driving anywhere on Friday, we do need to talk about it because precipitation is in the forecast. And we will talk about it in just a couple minutes. Casey?
All right, we'll look forward to that, Kelly. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit. In the meantime, developing news, police in Florida say a Charlotte County Sheriff's deputy was hit and killed by a drunk driver from Lakeville, Mass. 30-year-old Cassandra Smith being charged with DUI manslaughter. Florida Highway Patrol says Smith was driving a Jeep, and the deputy was out of the police car conducting a traffic stop on Interstate 75. And according to a police report, Smith lost control of her car, veered across 3 lanes, and collided with the police car, which flew into the deputy.
Florida Highway Patrol is currently working the crash. There'll be more details to follow. I'm not going to be releasing the name at this time due to the fact not all the family members have been notified. But please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you and God bless.
Elsewhere today, checking national headlines, and just days after the deadly mass shooting at an LGBTQ club in Colorado Springs, Colorado, another one, this time at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. The shooter in this case was an employee of the store. ABC's Ike Ajachi outside the store in Chesapeake today with the very latest.
Responded to District 402, 1521 Sam Circle at the Walmart for a gunshot wound.
Just after 10 o'clock Tuesday night, the first 911 calls came from inside this Chesapeake, Virginia Walmart. By 11:20 p.m., police declared the scene safe with no risk to the general public. But inside, carnage.
6 victims have died. 4 victims are in area hospitals with conditions unknown at this time. And the suspect is dead from what we believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Police confirming the shooter was an employee of the store. Witnesses say the man was a store manager who opened fire in a break room. Brianna Tyler was in that room getting ready for her shift.
And basically, as soon as my team lead started the meeting, my manager came around the corner, stood in the doorway of the break room, and just opened fire. And he was just shooting any and everybody that he could.
The store was open to customers when shots rang out.
Time stopped. It felt like forever getting out that store, but it hurts because, you know, I'm quite sure I'm going to find out that I lost some people that I know I had built a rapport with.
In a statement, Walmart saying, "We are shocked at this tragic event. We're working closely with law enforcement, and we are focused on supporting our associates." Now, the store will remain closed until FBI and local police process the scene. Ike Ajachi, Chesapeake, Virginia.
And now to holiday travel. Thanksgiving travel in the minds of millions of Americans this noontime, and be thankful a rail strike has thus far been averted. Otherwise, it could be far worse. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigell is telling us today what you need to know if you're hitting the rails and how a potential strike, Yanni, could have and could still wreak havoc. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Casey. Well, today is the busiest travel day of the year, and that means that if you're driving, flying, or taking a train anywhere for Thanksgiving, you should give yourself some extra time. One Amtrak official I spoke with today saying you should plan to arrive to the train station about 45 minutes to an hour before your trip to ensure you're able to board. The busiest travel day of the year. Millions of Americans taking to the road, sky, and rails.
The Tuesday, Wednesday prior to Thanksgiving are our busiest days of the year for travel. The Sunday following Thanksgiving is our busiest after Thanksgiving.
Amtrak says holiday travel is up to nearly 80% of pre-pandemic levels. In anticipation of the busy weekend, the rail service adding extra staffing and trains to keep up with the demand. But that demand almost null, as rail unions delayed a nationwide strike earlier this month that would have shut down the train service right before the Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
Significantly dampen the economy because people wouldn't be able to ship goods across the country.
Eric Loomis, a labor expert and history professor at URI, talking to ABC6 News of the potential detrimental strike, now pushed back to at least December 4th.
Everybody's going to be, who would be taking trains, is going to be needing to get in a car or a bus. And you're also going to see a lot more traffic on the roads due to the requirement of more trucking.
The problem? Paid sick leave, currently not included in any contracts for freight railroad workers.
So that's the issue. That's the sole and single issue here. It's not about the money. The money's fine.
And as a potentially historic railroad strike looms, the first in 30 years, the two sides continue to be at a standstill on a deal. But Loomis doesn't anticipate labor unions accepting a deal as we stand, but he also doesn't expect any strikes either, expecting Congress to step in to impose a labor contract.
They'd rather have Congress force them to take this deal than accept it themselves, because they don't like the deal. They realize this might be the best deal that they're going to get, but they don't want to accept it because they don't think of it as a good deal.
And I also asked Amtrak about the potential impacts on Amtrak service here in Rhode Island if unions were to go on strike, asking if you could potentially see Amtrak service come to a halt. Amtrak declined to comment. In the newsroom, Yanni Trigell, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. An ABC6 News update today happening here shortly. The City Board of License is set to meet to discuss the recent violence at the Cadillac Lounge. According to police, Stefan Calise of Fall River was stabbed to death outside the strip club early Sunday morning after a fight broke out. He died at the hospital. Cadillac Lounge remains closed leading up to that Board of Licenses meeting scheduled for 12:30 today. No arrests have been made. This does mark the 7th homicide this year in Providence. Still to come today on ABC6 News at noon, a Seekonk man pleading guilty for his involvement in the January 6th riots. Details on the deal he made with prosecutors. Plus, a teacher fired at a charter school in Fall River. What he's accused of doing made school officials pull the plug. Welcome back. Turning to today's headlines now, and a charter school employee in Fall River fired after getting caught communicating inappropriately with a student. The executive director of the Atlantis Charter School says they had what they needed to fire a staff member who was, quote, inappropriately communicating online with a high school student. The school said it filed reports with Fall River Police and the Department of Children and Families. A Seekonk man pleading guilty for his role during the January 6th riots. 26-year-old Chase Allen, arrested in June of 2021. And according to the FBI, he was seen stomping on media equipment on federal grounds during the riot. The Sun Chronicle reports Allen was initially charged with a felony, but he made a deal with prosecutors to lessen the charges to a misdemeanor. Allen pled guilty to committing an act of physical violence on the Capitol grounds. Maximum penalty he'll face is 6 months in federal prison. Attleboro Mayor Paul Heroux expected to submit his letter of resignation by the end of the month. The outgoing mayor making this announcement in a letter to City Council last Tuesday. Heroux says he'll submit the letter after the state certifies his election win for Bristol County Sheriff, which should happen by November 30th. He'll stay on as mayor through the end of the year. The City Council must pick a day for a special election. Right now, there are 3 candidates making a run for the mayor's office. La Salette Shrine will open for the Christmas season tomorrow night. The tradition resumes with more than 400,000 lights covering over 10 acres of land. Folks who attend this year's Festival of Lights will also get a chance to view new and improved Nativity Museum there. The lights going to turn on tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. They'll remain on until 9. Seeing the display is free, but donations are appreciated. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon. World Series MVP Jeremy Pena coming back to Providence. Got details on how you can be a part of the celebration this weekend. We go back to Kelly Bates. She's got a full look at your 7-day forecast, including what your Thanksgiving is going to look like. It's all coming up. Stay with us. We are back in a big weekend on tap here in Providence. The World Series MVP is coming home this weekend. That is Jeremy Pena. You know him. He starred for the Astros in their latest run to a championship. Will be greeted at an event on Saturday at the Providence Career Technical Academy from 2 to 3. Organized by Providence Sports and Leadership PSL, a team Pena's baseball career started with. He'll be doing a Q&A right across the street from where he went to high school at Classical, and also where his star was born.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Kelly Bates.
Well, we do have a fine afternoon in progress. We have plenty of sunshine, and temperatures have responded nicely to all of this sun. Here's where we are now, and we are in the 50s. We have 51 right now in Providence and Newport. We've got 53 over in New Bedford and down to Westerly as well. We're almost at 50 in Smithfield at 49, and Killingly started at 22 and has made it to 50 degrees as well. So rather mild. We are seasonable. Our average temperatures are basically topping out around 51. We also have this little bit of a wind in here, and it has been gusting from time to time, sustained between 5 and 15 miles per hour, and wind gusts have been tracked at close to 20 miles per hour in Smithfield. Not blockbuster gusts by any stretch. It's just more of an item of note, or wind direction moving in air from the southwest. So we have high pressure in charge, and that's why we're not worrying about clouds or precipitation. It's anchored back here, and as the air has been going around it in a clockwise manner, it's just pushing in air from the west and the southwest. So in addition to the warming sunshine, we are bringing in air from warm wind directions. So all of these things are coming together to drive your afternoon highs into the 50s, which is what we typically do this time of year. As this area of high pressure crests over the region tonight, we are looking at winds to go calm. So when you have calm winds or near calm winds and a clear sky at night, like we're expecting overnight tonight, it means we're likely going to wake up to some chilly lows, and tomorrow morning we'll likely begin closer to 30. Moving through the day on Thanksgiving, high pressure slides by, flips our wind direction firmly from the southwest, and that is what is going to basically keep temperatures on the upside, even though we're looking at some clouds to filter in the second half of the day. So once we hit this afternoon, we're looking at temperatures that should be in the 40s and, of course, on their way down as we go to the overnight. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start with temps closer to 30 degrees. Due to the clear sky, little to no wind combination. Then our high temperatures recover for Grandma's house around 47. And then when you're heading home in the evening hours, temperatures will be back into the 30s. So we're looking at ideal driving conditions no matter what time you look at it. Sunny, dry conditions for Thanksgiving, 46 degrees for our high temperature. So really pleasant conditions, but it's after Thanksgiving that we need to talk about the potential of precipitation. And I'll show you in a second. 51, sunny, seasonable for today. Winds moving in from the northwest, initially now becoming southwesterly as we looked across the region. And for tonight, clear and chilly. Temperatures are going to start around 30 degrees for tomorrow morning. Moving through Thanksgiving, a good dose of sunshine, cool temperatures. 46 degrees is what we're going to find for your high temperature. And our extended forecast shows that things developing Friday and again on Sunday. See, we've got a front coming through on Friday. It is a warm front, so it will lead in with some warmer air, boosting temperatures to near 55, even though we're going to see a good deal of clouds. Saturday, we get a bit of a break, and then Sunday, we have an area of low pressure that's going to be moving into the region that will give us a chance of picking up rain starting after 8 a.m. So if Sunday's a travel day for you, keep in mind you may be contending with some raindrops. But with temperatures on Sunday topping out at 58, we're talking rain, nothing frozen, and nothing freezing up after the rain stops either, because overnight lows are going to be in the 40s as we go from Sunday into Monday.
We will take it, Kelly. Thank you for that. Still to come today at noon, approaching the biggest shopping day of the year. Some Black Friday deals have already started to pop up. We'll tell you about them just ahead. Back to check consumer news now and a look ahead to Black Friday. ABC's Becky Worley has the first look at new shopping data for November and some of the best deals right now.
Adobe revealing its data on trillions of online transactions. In the first 3 weeks of November, consumers have spent a little more than $64.5 billion online. Compared to last year, that's higher by only 0.1%.
Spend is on par with 2021 and kind of close to 2020. However, what we find is that the discounts are much stronger because you have retailers trying to incentivize more growth.
Like by starting Black Friday sales events in October.
Retailers have been having these early Black Friday sales for more than a month now. And so there have been more ads, more promotions, more claims of deals than I think I've ever seen in all my time tracking sales.
But don't think all the deals have come and gone. Online financial site Wallet Hub scanned advertised deals for Black Friday, and its top 5 list of sites for discounts includes JCPenney, promising more than 60% off on popular merchandise, Macy's, 53% off, and Kohl's, 44% off products. And if gaming consoles are on your list.
The good news is that inventory has rebounded for a lot of these consoles, and in our tracking, we're actually seeing the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 in stock much more than we have in previous years.
Live now, Target is offering the lowest price on the Xbox Series S at $250. That's $50 off, plus they throw in a $50 Target gift card. And the elusive Sony PS5 gaming console has a restock of inventory scheduled for today at noon Eastern on Walmart.com. And on Black Friday itself, Walmart says consoles will be in stock at physical stores starting at 5 a.m. local time.
Becky Worley reporting. Still to come today at noon. Kelly has another look at your afternoon forecast, including tomorrow, what Thanksgiving Day looks like. Stay with us.
Well, we have high pressure in charge. That should deliver sunshine for the remainder of today, a clear sky tonight, and a sun-filled Thursday. So Thanksgiving, we're looking at travel conditions that will be bright and dry, maybe some solar glare, but otherwise you're going to be just fine. Friday, though, once we hit the afternoon, after, say, 3 o'clock, that's when we'll likely see some rain develop thanks to a warm front moving through. That will also boost temperatures well into the 50s. Saturday is going to be sunny and seasonable at 53. Meanwhile, Sunday, we're going to finish the weekend with rain developing in the morning. Highs will top out around 58, so it does lead once again with a warm front. And even if we do get rain from this, and right now it's a 50% chance on Sunday, we're not going to freeze after it passes by because temperatures will be remaining above freezing and lead us into a sun-filled Monday and Tuesday. So a pretty decent
Not many
week.
complaints there, yeah.
Yeah, low maintenance, no shoveling.
Looks
I'm cool.
good. I'm good with that, too. Hey, have a great Thanksgiving, Kelly.
Thanks.
You folks do the same. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining us today. The news continues first and forward. For news and weather anytime, of course, check us out at abc6.com. Take care.